General, please get down. We cannot spare you.
There are times when a Corps commander's life does not count.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode in our Total War series here. I know we're doing a campaign with the United Provinces right now, and now we're going to be starting to delve into some other content. I know I just released the cinematic video last week of our match in Hardcore, ACW submod for Napoleon Total War, and today we're going to be talking about a new submod that I've been working on. It is called Gettysburg Order of Battle. And basically what this is we've taken the hardcore submod for Napoleon Total War ACW, and we have made it as accurate as possible within the constraints of Napoleon. So every unit that was at Gettysburg is in this mod. It is organized into each corps is their own faction, and the exact number of men in every unit is exact to Gettysburg, to our records. And so today we're going to be playing a division scale battle where it's a 4v4, 3 on the Union side. I ended up bringing cannons and a brigade of infantry. Excuse me. And the Confederates have 4 players, and they have brought a division. So we're playing 2 divisions against each other with brigades. Each player has 1 brigade, and in this case I had 2 brigades under my command. So we're going to be seeing 2nd Corps, 1st Division, which is 2nd Corps, of course, under General Hancock, famous general. I may put a little cinematic you may have seen at the beginning. And then also the brigades I'm bringing are going to be Cross's brigade, and then the artillery for 2nd Corps, 1st Division. With the Union in this mod, each division has their own contingent of artillery, and then each corps has artillery on the Confederate side. And then you can have an entire Army of the Potomac artillery as well, if you wanted to do that. So we're going to be waiting for this battle to get started, hopefully shortly. Just going over some units real quick. Of course, here's my units. I've brought the cannons, so I have 4 batteries, 3 6-gun batteries and 1 4-gun battery of artillery. 2 of the batteries are Napoleons, and 2 of the batteries are rifled. 1 is a 10-pound Parrott, and 1, I believe, is a 3-inch. Yes, there it is. And there's the other 6-gun Napoleon. And then my Cross's brigade, which is under 1st Division of 2nd Corps. It's going to be the 5th New Hampshire here, along with the 61st New York, 63rd New York, 88th New York, and then over here I brought a contingent, my largest unit actually, the 140th Pennsylvania. My friend here will be playing Zook's brigade. This was Benson, I believe, or Hedwig, I don't remember. Sorry, it was not Hedwig, it was Boyd and Benson on our team, Boyd and Benson. Benson was playing Zook's brigade. And by the way, I also brought the amazing 6th Pennsylvania Cavalry, 242 mounted infantrymen. Very good unit. And they'll be reshuffling, getting ready to move out. And I also brought the 148th. I'm all over the place. And there goes the skirmishers moving out. Looks like the battle has started at this point. And that would be Zook's 140th skirmishers. Now the 3rd unit is going to be trying to engage, I guess I can't see them, in the forest, and that is the Irish Brigade. Oh, here they are, Kelly's Irish Brigade. So we've got the 28th Massachusetts, 63rd New York, 88th New York, and of course, I believe that's it, yes. Those 3 divisions make up the core of the Irish Brigade, and I believe he has 2 others somewhere else that I cannot see. Of course, the Irish Brigade has those amazing buck and ball rifles, so shorter range but high devastation. So right away we can see some Confederate forces moving out. Some of their cannons just deployed here, and I immediately saw the Charleston Battery and Palmetto Battery moving out. That's a 6-gun unit, 12-pound Napoleons. These cannons will prove to be a real devastator in this battle, although mine will too, and you can see the dirt on the floor of his units moving out. But panning back over briefly to the Union line, our basic strategy during this battle, I was going to hold the cornfield. Of course, this is Miller's cornfield, as you can tell by the title. And then, of course, you have the east and west woods. We were going to send the Irish Brigade into the woods to try and get in some close range combat. We'll see what happens with him in the battle, but it was a great fight. And then just the cannons, of course, would be set up right here behind the field. Just like in history, you can actually recognize this if you watch my artillery video on Hooker's, Hager's, and Miller's. This is the position of Ransom's battery right here, and I will be setting up my battery right there. And over here, this was the position of Matthew's battery. I will not be setting up a battery here. If we look at the terrain, not the greatest terrain. On War of Rights map, it's a little bit different terrain. And here's the cornfield. Early on, cannon fire coming in, trying to batter my cannons and men as we move out. Now, one thing I didn't realize here until right about now was that this is mud. Now, on mud in this mod and in the HC mod, the units move much, much slower on mud, and so this is actually running speed of the cannons. It basically halves your speed. And so I've used the roads here for the infantry, which I'll remember for next time. Early cavalry movements coming up. I'm going to end up putting these in the forest, which we'll see in a second, and moving them out. I'm dismounted, and we see glorious Zook's brigade moving towards the east woods. Beautiful shot. Are those the east or west woods? I'm not sure actually. I believe these are the east woods, and these are the west woods. If I'm wrong, you'll correct me in the comments. So they're moving out towards the west woods. And here we do see the starting Confederate units of 1st Corps. Now what I didn't mention is that we will be playing today against 1st Corps, of course that's Longstreet's corps, against some contingents, Law's Brigade, especially here. And some early cannon fire opening up. Like I said, this ends up becoming a problem for us, this cannon, but not too much of a problem. We'll watch them move out for a second. Some beautiful shots. So I've ended up running my cannons out here to get them on this hill and get them firing. And I'm actually going to end up using this hill and the terrain here to set up one cannon in front of the other. It's pretty good firepower down the center. It doesn't end up being enough to take them down, as you can see in the bottom left here. The 1st Division of 2nd Corps is a lighter division on the numbers, going up against the 1st Corps, 3rd Division, I believe, which was, I'm forgetting at this moment. But yes, 3rd Division of 1st Corps. And placing the general just here since we ran them and they're tired, keep their morale up. If they do take a hit, they won't run immediately. And I've ended up pushing the skirmishers up. I'm going to try engaging his general in 1 second. And here we can see that Irish Brigade moving into the forest, trying to get up close and personal with these units, and we'll see how that works out. They are lighter on the numbers. Kelly's Irish Brigade was lighter on the numbers. But they do have some good songs, don't they? There's the first volleys opening up. Blasting him. Already taken out 4 from his general. Didn't quite get any hits on that unit. Only 1. Looks like 1 cannon each in these batteries.
Sir, I fear your general is
That was
in
nice.
mortal peril, sir.
And we almost damn near broke his general here from him running. And I pushed my skirmishers out to get some early shots. I'm gonna try to pull him out before we get caught. As you can see, does not end up being enough time. So again, taking up the positions on the cornfield, just defending. These are light units in the 1st Division. And here we can see, as I said before, the 6th Pennsylvania Mounted Infantry Cavalry is rolling out. They're going to be holding this right side. They do a lot of damage. And unfortunately the skirmishers do get broken early on. Opening up with that round ball on his units. Taking out quite a few men. As you can see by that hole that was just ripped into that line. Their units are huge. Law's Brigade is large. You can see 15th Alabama and 48th Alabama here. Those Alabama boys have 300-400 guys in every unit. And that will prove to be a massive difficulty during this battle. Even the Georgians, 350, 350. Huge amounts of men. Beautiful cannon fire going out. We do end up breaking this unit, which you'll see shortly. Watch some of this cannon fire going on right now. Here they finally come, the 148th, going to take up some other positions with the Cav, defend this flank. Over here, we can see this is Benson pushing with Zook's brigade in the forest, getting some nice flanking fire on Benning's brigade. He does do well during this match, which we will see. However, in the forest, huge amount of pushing. Law's brigade is sending massive amounts of men into the forest along with Anderson's brigade. They're going to double team the small Irish brigade, which will prove to be a difficulty. Again, those buck and ball shots you can see have done a lot of damage, but these are large units that they're facing off against. And we're about to see a volley straight into these guys' back. Only 2 losses left. More units appearing on the field. The 8th Georgia. 59th Georgia with 525 men right here. Jesus. This was a tough fight, but unfortunately it will be, spoiler alert, a Confederate victory, as you can see by the numbers. Union had almost no chance, but it was a beautiful fight. Goes his cannon. It's only a unit of one, but he still has a good amount. I am aiming at this one, trying to take down at least one of his units with the Napoleons, and he just got a nice hit over there on my cannon. Took out an entire cannon. See, the Irish Brigade has been pushed back in the forest. And they're going to continue holding as much as they can. Speed it up a little bit. I believe there were entire division, probably around 20,000 men on the field here. Pretty solid numbers. I do believe this mod can handle around 35,000 men on the field, which is a pretty good amount. You cannot do a 4v4 with 4 corps going up against 4 corps, but you can do 4v4 brigade size. You can do a 3v3 division size, I think. Kind of a hybrid with that, and you can do a 2v2, definitely division size, probably almost a corps size, 20 units per person. With this we brought 5 units per person, I believe. With 3v3s we brought 10 to 15, so it is pretty good, and like I said, you can make it as historical as you want. Every unit that was at Gettysburg was there, and we will be releasing an Antietam as well. Look at that round ball going out. I actually hammered his general there and killed his general. I was aiming right here between the units. Trying to get some good shots. And I have to end up pulling back. I'm taking too many casualties. Didn't want to break that early on. That will continue to be a skirmish location. There's their general. That was Zach's general. Of Law's Brigade. I thought it already happened. That round ball looks great. It's actually one shell bouncing. So it's pretty accurate in Napoleon, the bouncing shells. Oof. Nice hit on that. He is getting some nasty hits. It's a really good battle right now. And here you see I'm going out skirmishing in the field now. Again, trying to use this defilade here for Move out, take a shot, move back before that can take casualties, although they are getting hits. Minimal hits though. Now I'm looking at this unit moving right. I'm saying this is a good flanking opportunity. Start moving out. On the left side, as you can see, is not doing well. We have multiple units from Kelly's Irish Brigade breaking. Only one left, facing off against 300, 350, you know, 377. There's his general. Way too many guys. I mean, if you take my guys alone, these two units outweigh all three. And then plus we've got these three coming in. So you'll see I'm going to try to make a last-ditch effort to guard on the left, which should happen momentarily. These units will begin to move left into the forest. However, when that happens, Zach's going to take advantage of that. And we'll see that momentarily.
Yes, sir.
And there go my units out to the left. And there go Zach's units coming into the field. I immediately see this and bring him back, but it does give him time to get into this field without getting shot, which was not good for me. Now as these three units start coming across the field, all my cannons will start bearing down on him. Although we are taking nasty hits in an effort to try to stop this advance, but unfortunately it is a large advance. And we'll see it play out briefly right here. There goes the opening volleys on his line. A lot of men in those units. 500 men in that unit. 15th Alabama. Beautiful looking unit. Beautiful looking volley too. And I'm using this opportunity to get up here again and try to get some flanking fire. Although it is 2-on-2 and he has more men. So we'll see that play out here as well. Oh, beautiful, beautiful shots going out. Almost broken there. Almost broken. Look at those shots. Retargeted my cannons to try to break him, but he runs his general over and inspires them. For some reason, even when your general dies, they can still use the abilities, which I may need to fix. I don't even know if it's possible to fix. It still increases morale to have your command staff, which kind of makes sense, I guess. Maybe it should penalize morale. 148th is still holding strong. I do believe he is focus firing. My 69th, or 6th Pennsylvania Cavalry. This definitely maybe helping pass some shots right over. And he is getting very lucky with these shots on my units, I have to say. Taking out a lot of my cannons. He's been focus firing my cannons. Like I said, these two batteries are big problems for me this whole game. All these batteries are. cav back. See, they took some major casualties here. But they'll be going up and doing some more skirmishing throughout the fight. Checking in on the right, Benson had to pull back due to the major pushes going on elsewhere. And because of that, they're going to be able to keep shifting units to protect Law's brigade and push the forest, which was not helpful for us, but there was no choice, obviously. Our units are just too weak, and this is something we are currently actively working on in the mod. We're going to be building more balanced loadouts for ACWs. Obviously, we're not going to be changing unit numbers. They have to remain historical, but we will be balancing the army saves and what we recommend you battle with, fight with, etc. Interesting strategy from Kelly's brigade here. I believe they broke into the middle of the field. You gotta love Napoleon Total War mod, AI, excuse me. They do come back though. They'll be doing some final stands, but when you're faced off against 500 times 4, you know, what are you gonna do? There's not much, so I'm eventually gonna just pull out of this side altogether and try to reestablish, which you'll see. We can speed it up a little bit. And there go my units. They're starting to pull out. I'm going to limber the cannons, the ones that I can. The rest are going to be on canister. Unfortunately, we lost a lot of horses. That was a major concern for artillery in the Civil War. Was losing your horses, was losing your artillery in general. And so, artillery was much more cautious than than players are in NTW. Especially for the Confederacy. Confederate artillery, of course, is not under threat in this battle. You can see that they're doing just fine. Sitting back here. A couple of rivers. Hopefully he breaks. He was wrecking my artillery with his batteries. They have very good shots. And there's unfortunately not a very good location. You know, you see back here, sure, there's maybe some, but the real location for artillery is right here. This is the best spot. So, and historically I do believe there was one battery here, but hard to fight over the cornfield when your battery's through woods. And there's some early canister fire going out. It's a little bit too far of a range right now. I'm going to move this one up, try to get some canister shots, and this one will move back here for a nice final stand later on. You will see. And there you can see
Your men have
those
been
500
routed, sir.
units are just killing us. And Benson will not be able to do much over here either. From his position, he's just too weak. It truly is a Union last stand, if you ask me. Go watch the cinematic. That was a Confederate last stand. We're doing a Union last stand this time. And there go my units. We're going to end up pulling back, and I'm going to try to get these canisters doing all they can before we get pushed. They are 10-pound parrots, which should do some nice damage with canister. But I'm not sure they're going to get many shots off before they break. Just too much fire. not look like they want to fire tonight. There we go. No idea what that shot. Too bad. Too bad. Probably not a great placement by me on that cannon. And here we see 17th Virginia Cavalry is coming in to try to get my cannon. But I'm going to canister shot them and try to do a last hold. At the same time this canister is going off, my cavalry is limbering up right here. And we're going to be going in to defend this cavalry. Taking out major amounts of forces. And they're going to dismount here. They are mounted infantry, they're not cavalry, so they're better on foot theoretically.
Right away.
They're charging through mud, they move slower, and they're running, so they're going to be tired. Boom.
Right away.
Here comes my cav. Boom. And they break. In the sight of my glorious cavalry, who will now dismount and try to defend the cannon against the charging units, and the canister shot ended up being able to defend successfully. However, we now have multiple 400 or 500 man units bearing down on this one 400 unit. And that is going to be unfortunate for us. You can see the beautiful Confederate line here is just too big for the 1st Division of 2nd Corps. They start breaking my units pretty quickly, even though I run General Hancock in here. And there goes the cannon. Despite holding beautifully against the cavalry, they're going to take too much fire from these infantry units. I leave just the cav here to defend. Meanwhile, on the right, Benson is holding strong. Not much contact. Got a couple Confederate units moving up from Benning's brigade, but the main defense will be here, and it will not last long. We can fast forward. You can see I do pull back a little bit, try to use these woods, but it will really be hard when you have 5-7 units coming in at you. Unfortunately, the odds were just stacked against the Union today, and that is what this mod is best at, is showing how through history, you know, you may have 2 divisions against each other, but one division may be way more powerful than another. That is the case here. Really beautiful battle, though. Confederates moving up to try to take these grouping of trees here. With reserves in the back. No chance for the Union. This unit did come back and get a volley off. But unfortunately, again, just like every other part of this battle, 2 350 man units against 1 280 man unit, it's not going to work.
Your men have been routed, sir.
Confederates will just continue to push in. And the last stand here, the 61st New York and the 81st Penn. Cab was broken on the right. That notification is a glorious charge. See the Union through the trees there. Beautiful volley. And General Hancock has been shot from his horse while trying to charge the glorious Confederate line.
Bring your men forward and we'll flank these bastards.
Bring the men forward, Colonel.
Yes, sir. My God, we'll flank them. Damn it all. I will not be moved until this engagement is decided.
Unfortunately, General Hancock died much sooner than even Gettysburg. And that will be nearly the end of the Union.
Gone. A whole unit is lost.
And there's my cannons being killed. Confederates have moved in their cannon. Benson will be the last stand of the Union.
The battle is all but over, sir.
That's for sure, buddy. There goes the 57th New York, and Benson's right flank is now broken. He's getting flanked on the left, and he has heavy engaging to his front. And that will be all but the end of the 1st Division of 2nd Corps. He does fight hard with this 500-man unit, but as you can see, he's about to get flanked. Very bad for morale, getting shot in the side. Very bad for morale. Huge hit on the 140th from those cannons. He will be pulling them back. close to getting up, but whew. Ew. About to form square, for God's sake.
Yes, sir.
They literally have formed square. And they are getting ripped apart.
Yes, sir.
And here's the final charge of the Union. Well, now they're broken. And with that, the battle ends. It was a good fight. Unfortunately, those Confederate numbers are just too great for the Union to counter. Hopefully next time we will balance those loadouts. And there we go. And here is the statistics. So, as we can see, the Confederates deployed over 6,000 men, almost 6,000, whereas we only had 2,900, 2,800, 2,900. So they had double the amount of men, almost. For my units, as we can see, that Cav did really well, and the Napoleons from the canister shot did extremely well, but a lot of units did not do well, especially Hancock. Poor Hancock. He tried. He tried his best. Well, thanks for watching, and more content on this mod coming soon. If you're interested in installing, I will put the mod DB in the description as the first link. It's a Napoleon Total War mod, so you just need a fresh install of Napoleon. You run it once, and then run the executable from ModDB, and that will install the mod. So thanks for watching once again, and hope you enjoyed the battle.